Happy weekend, boys and girls. This is Sherry, and welcome to The Eyes Have It. I had planned to film my giveaway first, but I'm using the commentpicker.org or commentpicker.com thing for the first time, and it's taken forever to load my comments for my giveaway video. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do Q&A first. First question is from Robin Park. What do you do for a living? I'm retired. You may have already figured this out from watching my video that I just posted about my life. My life in pictures, that explains my whole career. I worked for the federal government in the U.S., but I'm retired now. Laura from Shake Up Makeup. When you were a kid, did you have any celebrity crushes? She said she was a Davy Jones girl from the Monkees. Well, my best friend was a Davy Jones girl. I was a Peter Tork girl. Sharon Capehart asked, when you were in high school, what organizations were you involved in? I was in Future Teachers of America. I was in the National Honor Society. I was in Band and Drama. National Thespian Society, I think it was called. I think that's about it. And she says, I have to throw this in. Do you plan on marrying? LOL. No, I'm 63, never married, don't plan on marrying, but I never say never. If the right man miraculously came along at this stage of my life, hey, who's to say? Rose in Georgia, under the screen name Joe Williams, asks, what is your favorite restaurant? We have a barbecue restaurant. We don't have many barbecue restaurants here at the beach. I miss that. But we have one called Bethany Blues. And their beef brisket is like, it sends you to another realm. I mean, I had my eyes rolling back. I just had it for the first time about 2 months ago. I'd been there many, many times. I just never had that. Woo! Sam Sinclair, what is your biggest personal goal right now and how do you plan on achieving it? Way to take it easy on me, Sam. Gosh, I mean, I've worked my whole career, 37 years. I retired. That was a big goal. I wanted, before I retired, I said my two things I'm going to spend my retirement doing are writing and volunteering, because I had written my whole life. So, I retired, and 4 weeks later, I started my volunteer experience, and I've just gone, hog wild on that, and the writing has just fallen off. I don't know why. It's so weird. Maybe when I was under so much stress for all those years, I wrote as a release, as like a catharsis, and maybe I don't need to now. I don't know. Mary Ellen, after 60, what has been your favorite job? Hard. I really only worked for two government agencies, the Navy and the Pentagon, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. I would say that later in my career, my job as regulatory officer was, when I finally got my own staff and secretary and everything, that was pretty cool. When you were a senior in high school, what did you want to be when you grew up? Gosh, when I was a senior, I think I wanted to be a secretary, and when the government offered me a secretarial job in Washington and offered to just fly me down there, I was like, okay. Donna Rhodes, what do you think it takes to be successful on YouTube? Wow. You could ask everyone on YouTube, and I think they'd all have a different answer. As picky as it is, relatively good lighting. Here again, I've got a sleep light, a 30-year-old, elbow lamp, bend and flex lamp, and a quilting lamp over my top, and my dining room light. Nothing fancy at all, nothing expensive. It's just, I think that I see a lot of people starting out, and they're not well enough lit. And also, you got to speak up to be heard, and if you use music, please keep the music down at the level of your voice, especially if you have a soft voice, because that can really put people off. But I think that having a passion for what you're doing really is a huge thing. I think wanting to help people is a huge thing. I love teaching people things, and so that's part of what led me to do this. Makeup by Shay. Who are your 3 big favorite YouTubers? Wow. My answer changes like every 6 months. I'll tell you who I love. I love Dustin Hunter. There is no such thing as a bad Dustin Hunter video. Even when he's just sitting there and talking to you, he's a freaking adorable. I love his voice. His voice, people tell me my voice is soothing. That guy puts you right off to sleep. Not in a bad way, in the best way possible. I love Dustin Hunter. Kristen Games, fabulous. And of course, I have to give love to the person who inspired me to do this, which is Emily Noel 83. Carol German, my childhood best friend. Hi, Carol. What is your favorite anti-aging product? Here again, super, super, super tough, but I guess I would say my duo that was just 2 videos ago and my 5 favorite skincare or beauty products that I have to use every day. The combo of the Olay Regenerist Serum for the face and the Olay Regenerist Eye Lifting Regenerating Serum for the eyes. Great products and drugstore friendly. Dee Dee, who is an exercise therapist, asked, what is your favorite exercise to do? That again could change not really every 6 months, more like maybe every year or 2. Right now it's biking. I got a bike in July. I got a bike in March. I absolutely love it. I'm really irritated lately that it's been so hot and humid. I haven't been able to ride until last night, and it was nice enough I went out and rode 2 miles all at once. Gayla Etheridge, do companies send you products to review? I've answered this before. It's confusing. I'm an Amazon reviewer of almost 20 years. So yes, I get stuff free to review through that. I very rarely get anything for free to review through my YouTube channel. The Darling Debs, if you could take 4 beauty products on vacation with you, what would they be? I know a lot of women say mascara, but since I have so few lashes, under eye concealer, eyebrow pencil or some version thereof, because you can't see my eyebrows unless they're applied. Lip something with color. And an eyeliner. Mary Ellen Scholand asks, how long have you been retired? Just over 8 years. It was 8 years on May 31st. When did you start the Big Sister program? That would have been 2013, April 21st, April 20th. That is something I would really encourage any of you, if you're retired or even if you're younger and working, if you have even a couple of hours a month to spare, you could make such a difference in a little girl's life, really. Or if you're so inclined, a little boy's life. Prospect 4186 asks, what is your favorite food? Hard to narrow it down. I'm a foodie. Look at me. I love steak is probably way up there. Like a really good steak. Pizza. So steak, pizza, burger, and fries. Tweets asks, what are your favorite channels? I gave my big 3 at a previous, but, I got to talk about people like Natalie the Beauty Diva, Sharon Capehart, Mary Ellen After 60, Glitzy Fritzy, that kind of thing. Those are kind of my, my watch all the time people. Northern Part asks, my question is about little sis. It's too early for now, but has she ever thought of her future profession or a practice area she's going to succeed? Actually, kids, they change their mind like every month when they're little. But now that she's in this merit program, she got chosen for this merit program at the community college in 5th grade. And now she says, I want to go to college and be a lawyer. So that's awesome to hear. Vicky G, what TV shows do you follow? I In terms of reality, I love Project Runway, Top Chef, Survivor. In terms of non-reality, I love Scorpion. I've been on Orange is the New Black. And just this past 2 weeks, I was having problems with my TV, so I went on a streaming binge, and I'm up to 3 seasons of Nurse Jackie. I'd never seen Nurse Jackie before because it was on Showtime, and I don't have Showtime. I am loving it so much. And also The Last Ship, which is on TNT. Yeah, that's the basics, I think. Do we have anything in common, Vicki, that we can talk about? Nidhi Katyar. I hope I did that some justice. I'm sorry. What's your favorite lip color? You know, pretty much anything in the pink to berry to plum. I can't pick out one because it just depends on what I'm in the mood for that day. Mrs. Loretta, how old is Missy and how long have you had her? Missy will be 9 years old in December, and I've had her for, what would that be? Well, I've had her for 8 come October 3rd. So I adopted her at 9 months. Okay, how long have you been a big sis? 3 years, a little over 3 years. Favorite eyeshadow palette? Girl, you're making it too hard for me. No, actually, I'll just say this year for absolutely Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. Don't ask me for ever, but for this year, yes. Brooke Tang, you seem like a very self-confident and strong woman. Have you always been like this, or did it take you a while to come into your own? If so, when did you finally feel comfortable being yourself? Man, what a great question. I mean, it's questions, but what a great question. Thank you, Brooke, because that was something that really was thought out, and I love that. No, I would like to say I've always been strong. I will say this. I have a very strong mother, like iron. Very admirable. And I will say that, I mean, I moved away from my 2-stoplight town 3 days after high school graduation. I got on a plane with nobody. Well, with a girl from school who was also going in the same program. And I flew to D.C. and I started my life. So I don't think I could have not been strong to do that. But was I strong the way I am now? No. And when I was in my late teens and early 20s and first in D.C., I was a big people pleaser. And now I am so not. And I just wanted to be liked, and I wasn't always authentic to myself because I was trying to be liked. Not that way anymore. And, just in general, I mean, with men, it was embarrassing. I embarrassed myself. Which is why it's easier to be single, because when I'm around a man that I find hot, I embarrass myself. I just am not myself. So yeah, I would say, I think that if you're younger and you look at your 40s and 50s and 60s and say, ugh, I'll tell you, I never felt so strong and so myself. And as Brooke says, come into your own. I never felt that until I was 40. And then even more so at 50. And I think it's sort of leveled off at 60, so. Oh, let's see. Sylvia asked, do you have any complex? Is there any part of your body face that you really don't like? I spent half of my life with horrible body issues, with just low self-esteem. Oh my gosh, when I was a teen, when I was a preteen, teen, young adult, horrible self-esteem, body esteem especially. I think I always knew I was smart, and I think I always knew I was a good person, so I had self-esteem in that way. but horrible body self-esteem, horrible, because I've been fat most of my life, and now I'm good with that, and now I look at myself and I go, that's a beautiful person, and that's a beautiful face. Now I can say that. I couldn't say that then. Is there any part of me that I still have a problem with? My, what do you call them? My, hips, on the outer edge of my hips, I have this, like, bit of fat or something that just, even when I lose weight, I guess it's probably, what do you call it? You know, that dimply stuff on your body? Probably that. Okay, Peg C. What do you do for work? Nada. And what's been your career path? I refer you back one video to my life in pictures. Are you a reader? Absolutely. I am never not reading. What I am reading right now is the original Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Love it. And it has been the most delightful read of a long time. I read some darker things, some murder mysteries and that type of thing. I read a really disturbing serial killer book that was really good, but woo, it was dark. And so this has been a really nice antidote to that darkness, because the Secret Garden is just light. It's light in its color, in its movement. It's just magic. And if you read it, you know what I mean. If you go back to I did a book video, Let's Talk About Books. So it's in my Let's Talk About series playlist. And I did a whole thing on my favorite books of the past few years. Penny Lee. Missy Spark boxes are favorite of mine, and I always enjoy Little Sis. What are your and Little Sis's favorite activity when you're together? Well, I was asked this last year, and I said the pool. I don't know. It's so hard because we do craft time, which is always fun. We do, we make things. We sew, we make things. We go to the movies a lot. We go to kids' movies, and that's always fun. We've painted pottery together. We've painted together. We've gone to one of those things where they show you a picture and they teach you how to paint it. We did that this year. We do so much. It's just impossible to name one thing. But I would still say the pool is darn close to the most fun thing we do, because we are a bunch of nuts when we get in there. Gigi and makeup. She asked, how did you and little sister become with each other? And you can go back one video to my life in pictures, and there's a whole story of that in there. Not the whole story, but the basics. Do you suntan? Not purposely. I've never been in a tanning booth in my life, never been in a tanning bed in my life. I tried using self-tanner once, made a horrible mess of it. I wear SPF 40, 50, or 70 on my face daily. I don't always remember my arms when I'm walking the dog and biking, which is why my arms are so much more tan. But no, I don't tan purposely. How many kids do you have? 0. Were you ever married? Nope. How do you stay cool in the summer heat? Lots of air conditioning. Right now I'm cranking it. Brandy Russell, how did you choose Missy? Were you looking for a specific breed? No, she just fell in my lap. I had just retired in May 31st of 2008, and I got a call on October 2nd or 3rd from one of my best friends, and he was up in northern Delaware, and he said, I'm at a client's house, and they're giving away their 9-month-old Shih Tzu. Would you want her? Because I know you've been looking for a dog all summer. And I said, I don't know what's a Shih Tzu. I didn't know at the time. So I Googled it, and I saw that they're lovey-dovey and loyal and sweet and playful, and the health issues were not all that bad. And I said, yeah. So I met her. We had a meet and greet at the friend's house, and she didn't even pay attention to me that day. She was too busy going around sniffing everything in their house. She'd never been there. And she just wouldn't even, they kept trying to put her on my lap. She just kept leaving. And now people everywhere talk about the bond that we have. But that first day, wouldn't even give me the time of day. Sophie Visanti. Do you have any YouTubers you look up to? And has YouTube changed you in any way? Oh, absolutely. I have YouTubers that I look up to. I mean, Emily and Kristen were the first two, probably. But, you know, like Sharon Capehart. Here again, I go back to Sharon Capehart, Natalie, the Beauty Diva, Mary Ellen, Glitzy Fritzy. Those are all people who have made an amazing, incredible following being mature women. And I definitely look up to that. I'm an introvert. Even though people think I'm an extrovert, I'm an introvert. I may not be as introverted as I used to be, but I'm still an introvert. Has YouTube changed me anyway? It's probably made me, you know, more extroverted. I don't think I have any on Instagram, but I did post my question thingy there. No, I did not have any there. All right, I think that's it. Thank you all so much. You know, God, just when I think I can't be asked any more interesting questions, you guys just come up with the interesting questions. I love you for that. I love you for a lot more than that, but I love you for that. So, coming up next will be the giveaway. Okay. Thank you all so much. Thank you for the incredible, sweet, loving support to my Life in Pictures video. I hope it answered some questions that you've had that you hadn't already answered by previous Q&As. And just thank you so much for the support. And finally, thank you. I've already thanked you twice other than this, but I had to thank you again. Thank you, Mary Ellen. She put a little shout out to me at the end of one of her recent videos and said she wanted to help me get to my subscriber goal. And so I've had a really lovely rush of new subscribers, which is, of course, fantastic. No matter how many new subscribers there ever are, you guys will always be the best because you've been here. Some of you have been here, like from the beginning. Rose, Dee Dee, some of the others. You have been here for a long, long time. Aggie gal, sweet Aggie gal. Okay, that is all for Q&A. Thank you so much. That's my summer Q&A. Next Q&A will be in December or January. Take care, be well, and always be yourself. Be strong, be beautiful, be bold. There are no rules to life. You make them. Bye.